Greetings! If you have already read the title and saw the thumbnail, today we will be talking about the famous video artist and film director Steve McQueen. I will be discussing his position within the tradition of video art and the origins of his filmmaking interest all the way from his college years to the present. I will provide examples of his early and latest works and explain how they are significant to his filmmaking abilities and his viewers. And with that being said, let's begin. Many of us know that Steve McQueen is a well-known British film director, artist, and screenwriter. He has mastered the art of minimalist storytelling to deliver the utmost impact on his viewers. Some of his contemporary works include many short films, movies, and television series. His skills of filmmaking are greatly admired today, but let's go back in time to when he first found interest in it. Steve McQueen first became interested in filmmaking when he studied art and design at Chelsea College of Arts and then studied fine art at Goldsmiths College, University of London. Steve is very experimental when it comes to filming and would want to use risky strategies to make his films more interesting. But his strategies had to be limited when he left Goldsmiths College to study briefly at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts because he complained about how they would not let him throw the camera up in the air. Steve McQueen's very first major film is called Bear, which was created in the year 1993 during his college years. This is a 10-minute black and white silent film that depicts two naked men tussling and teasing each other in a way that shifts between aggression and tenderness. Steve McQueen is indeed one of the two men playing the role in this film. It has been displayed in a clever way that allows the viewers to be a participant in the context and hear only the sound of their breathing. McQueen's idea of creating this silent film was based on his awareness of the distinct presumptions of what is bound to happen between black men, especially from the perspective of a white spectator. The kind of expressions that we as black men project with one another seems to spark wonders from some people in our society of what the outcome will be between them. Our expressions towards each other as black men may lead others into thinking that our behavior and actions can only be broken down into two categories: danger and lust. This social issue has influenced McQueen to create a filmed performance that projects that idea. He is also influenced to provide a message that the expressions of black men have much further potential than what is racially expected as they make contact. This interesting silent film called Bear was the beginning of his long career to create video art and other film presentations to showcase his observations and social knowledge of the issues that occur between black people in our society and throughout history. Another one of Steve McQueen's most powerful works is called Ashes. This is a 2-channel video installation, and the two videos, projected in opposite directions, depict two different scenes. The first video, which McQueen filmed during his first visit to the Caribbean island of Grenada in 2002, features a young man riding the ocean waves on an orange boat nicknamed Ashes. He is smiling and enjoying the oceanic horizons and blue skies without a care in the world. McQueen was astounded by Ashes as he seemed like a joyful and polite young black man who has a beautiful future ahead of him. The second video, which McQueen filmed during his return to the island 10 years later, depicts Ashes' reburial. McQueen wanted to give him a proper burial with his name marked on a tombstone because he deserved to be remembered and buried respectfully. The history of how this happened shook McQueen, as he did not expect to hear the news of Ashes' death, which occurred a couple months after he shot the first film. Apparently, Ashes thought it was his lucky day and could make some money when he discovered a stash of drugs on a beach. Unfortunately, it was far from lucky. Some guys came looking and they were furious. They shot him in the hand and Ashes let go of the drugs. He tried to run away and escape, but they shot him in the back, causing him to fall down. They kept shooting him around his belly and legs, and at that moment, it was his very last breath. This piece is one of McQueen's greatest examples of his skill in the art of minimalist storytelling. As he goes through life, any event that he hears or experiences is a story that he truly believes needs to be told. This tragic event hit him hard as he dislikes the truth of young Black men going through these rough experiences and ending up passing away so soon as a result. The two projects that I have mentioned, both Bear and Ashes, are incredible examples of how Steve McQueen uses his voice and masterful observation on social issues to project a powerful meaning or tell a story that will impact future generations. His filmmaking skills are of high expectations, as he takes many opportunities to create a project that strongly proves that his vision and his voice are his greatest tools. That ability continues to be expressed brilliantly throughout his career as a film director, screenwriter, and video artist. In fact, one of his most recent projects is the 3-part documentary series called Uprising, which was released in July of 2021 on the British Broadcasting Corporation's television network, or BBC. This documentary series is about 3 related events that took place in the year 1981. Each of the 3 episodes examines a specific event in chronological order. The first episode, titled Fire, is about the New Cross House fire in January 1981, which took the lives of 13 Black teenagers. The second episode, titled Blame, is about the Black People's Day of Action in March of 1981. This is when more than 20,000 people joined the first organized mass protest by Black British people. The last episode, titled The Front Line, is about the April 1981 Brixton riot. Throughout the series, Steve McQueen is telling a true and tragic event that occurred in the United Kingdom that would continue to define race relations. The 3 projects that I explained are great highlights of his filmmaking career, but there are other amazing projects as well. According to my research, Steve McQueen has made 13 short films, starting from the first film called Bear that he created in 1993 all the way to a 2009 short film called Static. He has also made some feature films. There is Hunger from 2008, Shame from 2011, 12 Years a Slave from 2013, and Widows from 2018. Not only was he the director of all these films, but he also took part in writing and producing. He was both the director and writer of Hunger and Shame, but not the producer. He was both the director and producer of 12 Years a Slave, but not the writer. However, he did direct, write, and produce Widows. Lastly, he has made 2 television series. The first is Small Axe from 2020, and the second is a series I already discussed, which is Uprising from 2021. He was the director, producer, and writer of Small Axe, and did everything but the writing for Uprising. He is very influential with his work because he is leading a cultural revolution. As a British Black man who has suffered from institutional racism, it is greatly important to him that he uses his voice to push these topics and strive to make a social change. In my opinion, when I chose this contemporary video artist and started doing my research about him, I was glad to know who he is as a creator. I really understood his creative process because it is something that I like to do with my work as well. I love making pieces of art, both video and other mediums, that reflect a deep message or story from my own life experiences. I really admire his passion for filmmaking and will use his motivation as my own to keep doing whatever form of art that I love and tell my own message. In conclusion, Steve McQueen is a legend with a mission to turn a story of a real event into a masterpiece. His vision, knowledge, and skills will continue to be influential and purposeful for aspiring video artists and creators for generations.